Govinda.
Koti pranam, satakoti pranam, koti pranam, satakoti pranam, koti pranam, satakoti pranam, koti pranam, satakoti pranam, koti pranam. Satakoti pranam, koti pranam, Satakoti pranam, koti pranam, Satakoti pranam, koti pranam, Satakoti pranam. Jaya Jaya Guru Deva Kripa Sindhunatha, Jaya Jaya Shri Vishwananda Priya Prananatha, Jaya Jaya Guru Deva Karuna Sagara, Jaya Jaya Shri Vishwananda Premavatara, Jaya Jaya Guru Deva Kripa Sindhunatha, Jaya Jaya Shri Vishwananda Priya Prananatha, Jaya Jaya Guru Deva Karuna Sagara, Jaya Jaya Shri Vishwananda Premavatara. Oh Jaya Jaya Guru Deva Kripa Sindhunatha, Jaya Jaya Shri Vishwananda Priya Prananatha, Jaya Jaya Guru Deva Karuna Sagara, Jaya Jaya Shri Vishwananda Premavatara, Jaya Jaya Guru Deva Kripa Sindhunatha, Jaya Jaya Shri Vishwananda Priya Prananatha, Jaya Jaya Guru Deva Karuna Sagara, Jaya Jaya Shri Vishwananda Premavatara. Oh Jaya Jaya Guru Deva Kripa Sindhunatha, Jaya Jaya Shri Vishwananda Priya Prananatha, Jaya Jaya Guru Deva Karuna Sagara, Jaya Jaya Shri Vishwananda Premavatara. Koti pranam, Satakoti pranam, 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 Koti pranam, Satakoti pranam. Oh Jaya Jaya Guru Deva Kripa Sindhunatha, Jaya Jaya Shri Vishwananda Priya Prananatha, Jaya Jaya Guru Deva Karuna Sagara, Jaya Jaya Shri Vishwananda Premavatara, Jaya Jaya Guru Deva Kripa Sindhunatha, Jaya Jaya Shri Vishwananda Priya Prananatha, Jaya Jaya Guru Deva Karuna Sagara, Jaya Jaya Shri Vishwananda Premavatara. Oh Jaya Jaya Guru Deva Kripa Sindhunatha, Jaya Jaya Shri Vishwananda Priya Prananatha, Jaya Jaya Guru Deva Karuna Sagara, Jaya Jaya Shri Vishwananda Premavatara, Jaya Jaya Guru Deva Kripa Sindhunatha, Jaya Jaya Shri Vishwananda Priya Prananatha, Jaya Jaya Guru Deva Karuna Sagara, Jaya Jaya Shri Vishwananda Premavatara. Oh Jaya Jaya Guru Deva Kripa Sindhunatha, Jaya Jaya Shri Vishwananda Priya Prananatha, Jaya Jaya Guru Deva Karuna Sagara, Jaya Jaya Shri Vishwananda Premavatara. Koti pranam, Satakoti pranam, Koti pranam, Satakoti pranam, Koti pranam, Satakoti pranam, Koti pranam satakoti pranam 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 koti pranam satakoti pranam. O Jaya Jaya Gurudeva Kripa Sindhunatha, Jaya Jaya Shri Vishwananda Priya Prananatha, Jaya Jaya Gurudeva Karuna Sagara, Jaya Jaya Shri Vishwananda Prema Avatara, Jaya Jaya Gurudeva Kripa Sindhunatha, Jaya Jaya Shri Vishwananda Priya Prananatha, Jaya Jaya Gurudeva Karuna Sagara, Jaya Jaya Shri Vishwananda Prema Avatara. O Jaya Jaya Gurudeva Kripa Sindhunatha, Jaya Jaya Shri Vishwananda Priya Prananatha, Jaya Jaya Gurudeva Karuna Sagara, Jaya Jaya Shri Vishwananda Prema Avatara. Koti pranam satakoti pranam koti pranam satakoti pranam. Om Avatara Shishaya Namaha, Om Vishamaya Namaha, Om Nirakara Samadhyataya Namaha, Om Sukshmatanave Namaha, Om Shinmayaya Namaha, Om Gurumurtaye Namaha, Om Sundaraya Namaha, Om Salokshanaya Namaha, Om Sumukhaya Namaha, Om Sharvasaya Namaha, Om Keshavaya Namaha, Om Padmabhujaya Namaha, Om Mandragamanaya Namaha, Om Shalvadadine Namaha, Om Ramaya Namaha, Om Mandirashtapakaya Namaha, Om Shidi Babarjakaya Namaha, Om Gayatri Ajvane Namaha, Om Arpana Svikaragaya Namaha, Om Vishnu Putrakaya Namaha, Om Namo Narayana Mandropasakaya Namaha, Om Saramaya Namaha, Om Madhurakantaya Namaha, Om Krishna Sankirtana Lupaya Namaha, Om Stuta Priyaya Namaha, Om Mitavashine Namaha, Om Vagmine Namaha, Om Chitakala Visharadaya Namaha, Om Ratadarai Namaha, Om Sadave Namaha, Om Jagatpantaya Namaha, Om Sarvalokaitai Namaha, Om Bhakta Priyai Namaha, Om Surdai Namaha, Om Anukulai Namaha, Om Neyai Namaha, Om Sudarshanai Namaha, Om Bhaktavatsalai Namaha, Om Premamurtaye Namaha, Om Subekshanai Namaha, Om Pritivardhanai Namaha, Om Swastidayakai Namaha, Om Tarakai Namaha, Om Anugrahai Namaha, Om Vardhanai Namaha, Om Architai Namaha, Om Arthai Namaha, Om Siddhipradai Namaha, Om Janardhanai Namaha, Om Manoharai Namaha, Om Mahakshaya Namaha, Om Siddheshwarai Namaha, Om Bhasmabhushitai Namaha, Om Atmalingai Namaha, Om Lingashana Prosakai Namaha, Om Siddhisaranai Namaha, Om Madhavai Namaha, Om Karpasakai Namaha, Om Sukshmai Namaha, Om Vishwakai Namaha, Om Satvikai Namaha, Om Samadarshine Namaha, Om Dakshai Namaha, Om Achintyai Namaha, Om Nirankarai Namaha, Om Nirmohai Namaha, Om Avyagrai Namaha, Om Jitakrodhai Namaha, Om Vinayashilai Namaha, Om Savashai Namaha, Om Kushalai Namaha, Om Shamai Namaha, Om Satyadharmai Namaha, Om Nirvikalpai Namaha, Om Viraktai Namaha, Om Atindrai Namaha, Om Satyasandhai Namaha, Om Pavitrai Namaha, Om Madhurasvabhavai Namaha, Om Suranandhai Namaha, Om Nandanai Namaha, Om Prasamatmane Namaha, Om Bhaktanidaye Namaha, Om Sakshaye Namaha, Om Samatmaye Namaha, Om Sadayogine Namaha, Om Haraye Namaha, Om Sutapaye Namaha, Om Somyaye Namaha, Om Goyaye Namaha, Om Vimuktatmaye Namaha, Om Gabiraye Namaha, Om Guptaye Namaha, Om Atmaramaye Namaha, Om Shrinivasaye Namaha, Om Devaye Namaha, Om Dyutidaraye Namaha, Om Dhanyaye Namaha, Om Gurave Namaha, Om Niratikramaye Namaha, Om Gahanaye Namaha, Om Bhagavate Namaha, Om Harishana Margadashakaye Namaha, Om Kutashta Jagatakaye Namaha, Om Abhiprayaye Namaha, Om Sarvamata Samatyaye Namaha, Om Shyamakata Bhavavadakaye Namaha, Om Premavatara Sri Vishwananda Swamine Namaha. Ato Deva Avantano Yato Vishnur Vichakrame Pradivya Sapta Dhamapi Idam Vishnur Vichakrame Tredani Lade Param Samudhamasya Parum Sure Trini Pada Vichakrame Vishnur Gopadadyaha Ato Dharmani Dharyane Vishnu Karmani Pashyata Yato Vritani Paspase Indrasya Yujasakaha Tat Vishnu Paramam Padagum Sada Pashanti Surya Divi Vyachakshuratatam Tat Vipraso Vipanyavo Jagirvagum Sasamindhate Vishnu Yat Paramam Param. Premavataraye Vidmaye Satguru Devaya Dhimahi Tano Vishwananda Prachodayate. Om Premavataraye Vidmaye Satguru Devaya Dhimahi Tano Vishwananda Prachodayate. Om Premavataraye Vidmahe Satguru Devaya Dhimahi Tanno Vishwananda Prachodayate. Govinda Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. Om Bhurbhuvasvaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Yo Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhurbhuvasvaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Yo Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhurbhuvasvaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Yo Yona Prachodayat.
Shri Krishna Vishnu Madhusudana Ketabare Narayana Chavita Grimata Janapane Deyati Satcha Darshida Sundara Vasudeva Gopala Krishna Haraye Tava Supravatam Shri Rukmini Sabhavana Sahare Murare Radesha Gopesha Surupa Brahmari Vanya Shri Dvarakasha Vaikunta Pate Bhuvane Kamute Gopala Deva Haraye Tava Supravatam Vina Krite Kamatarupa Baharamute Trevi Kramaya Gumane Brahma Rama Shri Rama Krishna Yadunandana Kalki Rupa Gopala Krishna Haraye Tava Supravatam Govinda Marava Mukunda Parat Paresha Damodara Chandara Nandana Darishori Gopa Gopi Jana Sambrita Dena Bando Gopi Jana Priya Hare Tava Supravatam Shirati Sahim Bhujagari Patarpa Sahim Sarvakta Hisadama Sahim Ranganda Sahim Shri Gopa Brahma Mudratarpa Sakari Sahim Gopa Vallabhaye Tava Supravatam Shri Kashyapatri Sukadharada Gotamari Brahma Shri Sangamari Sangava Bharatesho Tishtanti Devatava Darshana Bhagya Heto Gopala Shekha Haraye Tava Supravatam Madara Jari Tulasi Taramakare Malyani Hanjari Pute Samudaharanti Tishtanti Tatpavatadatare Mohindraha Radha Manoharaye Tava Supravatam Vedatrayam Patati Gotama Gona Goya Gayanti Satguna Gano Varada Savagraha Sankirtayanti Tavanama Kada Visheshaha Shri Naradari Rishaya Tava Supravatam Govardhanodharana Gopa Kishora Gopa Gopi Janamrita Sudesha Bhavari Potham Trilokya Mohana Sumangala Divya Deha Shri Rukmini Shavarada Tava Supravatam Shri Vatsachina Saranagata Parijata Bhaktarti Banjana Kripakara Dina Bando Diyanta Gayati Janapriya Divya Rupa Shri Nanda Gopatanaya Tava Supravatam Padmaksha Padma Mukha Padma Dharana Prameya Padmalaya Shahita Padma Nivasa Shori Padmo Bhavati Surasevita Para Padma Padma Dinata Haraye Tava Supravatam Vrindantare Viranahaya Mahendra Vandya Kandarpa Haratinya Sudesha Rupam Chandrananaya Siddha Chandana Lipya Deha Govinda Yadavahaye Tava Supravatam Shri Nanda Nandana Yashoda Kumara Dira Mayanga Dina Ravishona Supushpahara Nilam Buddha Susuradira Rama Vihara Gopala Deva Haraye Tava Supravatam Shri Veshti Jambavati Satya Sugati Padra Shri Mitra Vindhyari Vesapa Bhuputri Kalyahe Tishtanti Divya Bhavame Tava Sevanadam Gopi Mana Priyaye Tava Supravatam Shri Krishna Achyuta Ananda Mukunda Shori Radha Manohara Janardana Chakrapane Namami Divya Munayurvandi Sambaranti Grami Muhurta Samaye Tava Supravatam Shri Krishna Suprabhatam Ye Patanti Haranisam Buhi Kritan Mahapapam Shri Krishna Grahe Tukam.
Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam Govindamadi Purusham Tamam Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamam Bhajami Sintamani Prakarasam Asukalpa Vriksha Lasha Vritesha Surabhira Bipalayantam Lakshmi Sahasra Satasambhrama Sevyamanam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Vedam Vanantam Aravinda Dalaya Daksham Bharavatassamasitam Buddha Sundarangam Kandarpakoti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Alola Chandra Kalasadvanamalya Vamsi Ratnam Gadam Pranaya Keli Kala Vilasham Shyamam Tribangalalitam Niyata Prakasham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Angariyasa Sakalindriya Vetrimanti Pashanti Panti Kalayanti Chiram Jaganti Ananda Chinmaya Sayujvala Vigrahasya Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Advaitam Achyutam Anadim Anantarupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayovanam Cha Vedishtu Durlabham Adurlabham Atma Bhato Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Satavatsara Sampragamyo Vayoratapi Manaso Munipungavana Sopyastiya Prapada Singha Vichitya Tattve Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ekopya Sura Chayatun Jaganta Koti Vyasastirasti Jaganta Chayayanta Andattarasta Paramana Chayantarastam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yadbhava Bhavitadiyo Manujasadeva Sampradya Rupa Mahima Sanayana Pusha Shuktiriyameva Nigama Pratitestuvanti Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratibhavitabhis Tabiya Eva Nijarupataya Kalabhi Goloka Eva Nivasata Kilatma Bhuto Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Premanjana Shurita Bhakti Vilochanena Santa Sadeva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti Yakshama Sundarama Chitya Guna Swarupam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ramadi Murti Shakalani Amena
Nanavataram akarat bhuvaneshu kintu Krishna swayam samabhavat paramam pumayo Govindamadi purusham tamam bhajami Govindamadi purusham tamam bhajami
Yasya prabha prabhavato jagananda koti Kotishvashesha vasudhari vibhuti vinam Brahmanishkaram ashesha bhutram Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami
Maya yasya jaganta satani sute Trigunya vishaya veda vidaya manam Sattva valambi parasattva vishuddha sattvam Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami
Ananda chinmaya rasatmarayanasu
Yapraninam pratipalam smaratam upedya Vilayatena bhuvanani jayatadasya Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami
Golokanami nijadami taleshatasya Devi mahesha haridama shuteshu teshu Tite prabhavani chaya vita shayena Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami
Shri 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 Pralaya Sadhana Shakti Rekha Jayeva Yasya Bhuvanani Vibhakti Durga Vishana Rupam Apiyasya Chachesta Tesa Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Shiram yatada divikara vishesha yoga Sanjayate naitata pratiyasito Yasam bhutam apitata samupeti karyan Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami
Vipachareva yesa sartarama vipetya Vipayate vivitahetu samana dharmam Rasadhakeva ija vishnutaya vivadi
Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami
Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami
Yakarana vanyajale bhati smayoga Lidramananta jaganta saroma kupa Adara shakti mavalambya parashamurti Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami
Yasya kanishvasita kalamata valamya Jivanti Roma vilaja jaganandanata Vishnur mahamsa yasya kala vishesho Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami
Masram yatasma sakale sunitesha tesha Sviyam kiyat prakatayak tatvatra Brahma yayesa jaganta vidana karta Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami
Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami
Anirmahingananam marudi sasha Kalastatatva manasiti jagatrayani Yajmat bhavanti vibhavanti vishanti amsha Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami savita sakala gana Raja samasta suramurti rashesha tesham Yasyagnaya brahmati sambrita kala chakro Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Dharmo tapapa nichaya sutaya sapamsi Ramati kita pataga vadaya shajiva Yada tamatra vibhava prakata prabhava Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Yasrindra gopa matavindra mahosvakarma Manmana rupa palabhajana martanoti Karmani nirdhati kintu shabhakti bhajan Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Yam krodha kama sahaja pranayadi viti Vatsalya moha guru gaurava sevya bhavahe Sanchitya tasya sadhushim tanuram purete Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Ahanadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karana Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami.
Om Agnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Jai Gurudev. Good morning, everybody. So, I'm not going to start immediately with the verse that I chose. I'm going to give you a bit of context. I'm going to tell you a bit of a story before we get there. Guruji, a few days ago, randomly texted me some verses from the Anushasana Parva, which is the 13th book from the Mahabharata. So this is after the war, and it's when Bhishma is lying on a bed of arrows, and they're trying to extract all of the knowledge from him before he departs this world. Because Bhishma was a very great and knowledgeable uncle, right, to the Pandavas. But it's quite random, I say, that Guruji sent me this because, well, we were not talking about it. It was completely randomly out of the blue. He just sent me these verses that I presume somebody sent to him. So no context at all. One day I just get these verses. I'm going to read them to you. So this is a conversation between Yudhishthira and Bhishma. And it's talking about the merits of planting trees. And Bhishma tells Yudhishthira, he says, these are the natural benefits of planting trees. Gaining both fame in the human world and auspicious rewards in the hereafter. A tree planter earns a name in this world and is honored by his ancestors. Even if he attains the realm of the gods, his name remains imperishable. O Bharata, The one who plants trees uplifts both his past and future generations. Therefore, one should always plant trees. These trees become like children to the planter. There is no doubt about it. When departing from this world, aided by these children, such a man ascends to heaven, where countless eternal regions of bliss become his. Trees honor the gods with their flowers, the ancestors with their fruits, and guests with their shade, O dear one. Trees bearing flowers and fruits nourish all beings in this world. Kinnaras, serpents, rakshasas, gods, Gandharvas, humans, and even sages take refuge of the trees. Therefore, one seeking their own welfare should always plant trees near reservoirs of water and care for them like children. These trees are remembered thus as children by Dharma. So Guruji sends me that with no context. We're not talking about trees. We're not talking about the Mahabharata. Just sends me these verses and doesn't say anything after also. So I'm reading. I was like, well, very nice verses. You just heard them, right? These are very nice verses. And if you've been following Guruji for a while, we know that he actually is often telling us. He said, plant trees, please. One thing I ask you, plant trees. So, okay. Nice. Cool. Fast forward maybe the next day or 2 days later, there's an experience that happens that I'll get into. And I'm looking for a verse, and I ask our dear new friend, ChatGPT, do you have any verses, because I'm looking for a specific topic in the Bhagavatam, right? Can you suggest to me any verses that encourages that we humans are looking after each other and being kind to each other in the Bhagavatam? Okay? This is generally what I'm searching for. And it gives me a suggestion. It says, here are some verses. List them. You have to be careful with ChatGPT, by the way, when you're doing these things. Double check, because often numbers it's not very good with. But it gives me one, Canto 10, Chapter 22, verse 35, which I'll read in a moment, and lists me some other ones, but this one I like the most. That's okay, let me go and check it. So go and check it. It's correct. And I read this verse, and I say, okay, let me get the context, right? What are the verses before that? And so now I will read you, again, just finding this verse and just going straight into the Bhagavatam. One search. I was not searching around. I just found this verse and went there in the Bhagavatam. And I read a few verses, the verses directly before, which are these. It's actually the chapter Krishna steals the clothes of the gopis. But at the end of this chapter, it kind of says, after this whole Leela, he tells the gopis to go back home. This whole thing kind of happens, and then he's walking with his gopas, his cowherd brothers, friends, and his brothers. So this is directly after that, and it says, sometime later, Lord Krishna, the son of Devaki, surrounded by his cowherd friends and accompanied by his elder brother, Balaram, went a good distance away from Vrindavan, herding the cows. Then the sun's heat became intense. Lord Krishna saw that the trees were acting as umbrellas by shading him, and thus he spoke as follows to his friends. Lord Krishna said, "See these greatly fortunate trees, whose lives are completely dedicated to the benefit of others. Even while tolerating the wind, rain, heat, and snow, they protect us from these elements. Just see how these trees are maintaining every living entity. Their birth is successful. Their behavior is like that of great saints. Anyone who asks from them is never disappointed. These trees fulfill one's desires with their leaves, flowers, and fruits, their shade, roots, bark, and wood, and also with their fragrance, sap, ashes, pulp, and shoots. And then, directly after this, Canto 10, chapter 22, verse 35, Etvad janma sandpalyam denam iha dehushu pranar atridya vacha shreya acharnam sada. The translation is this. After observing the trees, right, and praising the trees, Lord Krishna says, it is the duty of every living being to use their life, wealth, intelligence, and words in the service of others and for the ultimate welfare of all beings. That was the verse that I liked, that I picked. And funny coincidence, isn't it? Krishna talking about the trees 2 days after Guruji just sent me these other beautiful verses about trees. So, what is this all getting to? Well, the reason I picked this verse is because I realized something a few days ago. Actually, I kind of remembered something, which is that it's actually not a difficult thing to make Guruji happy, to please Guruji, or to please God. And it's kind of a funny thing to remember, to realize, right? Because it's one thing to say it, it's another thing to live it, internalize it. And I feel like, at least with myself, often they become complicated. We make things complicated. Humans are very, very, very good at making things complicated. But, and Guruji has said this so many times, to be on the spiritual path, there's no point, really, if we're not actually becoming better human beings. You know? If we really want to please Him and to do as He wants, we have to become better human beings. And that's actually a very simple thing. It's a very simple concept, because I'm going to tell you a secret, which is not a very secret. And if you've been paying attention to Guruji, you know that it becomes quite obvious quite quickly. But it is very easy to make Him happy, to please Him, to be how He wants us to be. Because the times that I've seen Him the most happy is not complicated. So the reason I chose this verse, a few days ago, I put on a movie for Guruji, and it was a very nice movie, a nice new animated movie, and it's called The Wild Robot. Maybe some of you have heard of it. Probably I'm going to say some spoilers. So if you have any small kids that you're planning on showing this movie to, because it's an animated movie for kids, but like any good kids movie, it's good also for the adults. And so this movie that I was watching with Guruji is about a robot, a super advanced robot in the future, that gets stranded on a wild island in the middle of the ocean. And this robot's objective, this robot's programming, is to assist humans with whatever task they require. So its goal, this robot, this artificial intelligent robot, is to help. And so it's looking for a task, but it doesn't realize that it's stranded on an island and it's surrounded by wild animals. And so it's going to all the animals asking, what can I help you with? What can I help you with? And the animals are freaking out. And then it processes and learns the animal's language. So then now the animals can speak and it can speak with the animals because it sits and listens to the animals and can talk. And it is rejected by these animals, right? They don't understand it. They're afraid of it. And this robot is just going around trying to help. But the animals don't like it at all. Then one night, this robot finds an egg of a goose. And this robot starts taking care of this egg until it hatches. And the goose, of course, sees the robot, the first thing that it sees when it hatches, and thinks that the robot is its mother. And so the robot is trying to figure out what to do with this baby goose. And it realizes that it needs to feed it, take care of it, and then teach it to fly. And the robot goes, okay, these are my objectives. And so that's basically the movie. But throughout the movie, this robot slowly starts evolving, let's say. And we can say that somehow it starts becoming more human, right? It's very analytical, it's very technical, and it slowly starts living, and it even talks about this feeling coming from its chest that it used to be analyzing with its computer, but now it starts developing these feelings for this goose. And it's actually just very, very sweet. At the end, this goose and this robot developed this very, very sweet relationship. And the robot is very, very sweet and is just trying to serve. And of course, there's some conflict. And they find the robot and they want to, the robot is completely going off of its code. They want to reset it, and et cetera, et cetera. And yeah, by the end of the movie, this robot has just developed a very beautiful relationship with its baby, its son, let's say, the goose, and all the animals around, and they all kind of like each other. And the funny thing is that, it was actually just so sweet, and the message was so sweet that I started getting emotional, and I looked at Guruji, and Guruji was also getting emotional. And he's saying it's funny now, this robot, even the robot is becoming like a human. It's becoming more human even than human. And that's when I realized how easy it is actually to make Guruji happy, to please him. If I think about all of the times in the 10 years that I've known Guruji, the moments when he's the most like joyful, happy, is just with these simple things, right? It's when people are following this verse. People who are using their life and words in the service of others. I remember some years ago, we in Italy, I think. I wasn't with Guruji, but one old Italian man invited Guruji randomly to come and have some food with him. Just a random guy. Somehow they crossed paths. And Guruji was so happy. He said, this guy was so sweet. He was so nice. Just to serve strangers. Or the story of Sudama that Guruji loves so much, right? This simple service that humans are capable of, and that so often we don't think about, right? We think that to be spiritual has to be very complicated. Have to do a lot of things, have to check a lot of boxes. Then I can be spiritual, then I can be better, then I can call myself spiritual. Worst of all, the worst thing that we can do is even say, because I'm doing this, because I have this little bit of knowledge, because I have a few mantras, then I'm actually better. And we become arrogant. Guruji says this many times. Arrogance of somebody who is not spiritual is one thing. But the arrogance of somebody who is spiritual, who is arrogant because they are spiritual, this is very, very dangerous. And Guruji has said clearly, one of the worst things that you can do. So we need to remind ourselves, what does Guruji on a practical level, right? On our day-to-day lives, what does it mean to reflect him, to be how he wants, to make him happy? It's to serve others, right? To be like the trees, right? And to remember that we're all just human beings. There's a great capacity in human beings to see past our differences, as much as that seems difficult nowadays, especially nowadays. Seems like we're all being separated, segregated, divided so much that even we look at other human beings as something else, something lesser, or because they believe this, they're less than me, or I am more than these, or whatever. We must be like the trees. Like these verses saying. Do they discriminate? What kind of person goes and seeks their shade or their fruits? Do they care who sits under them? Do they ask, which religion are you? No. There's one more verse that I just want to read for you. This was actually the first verse that I ever gave satsang to in the temple. In 2018, I found it again in my notes. I've talked about it a few times. It's from Canto 3. It's from Lord Kapila. And it's very important because also Guruji often talks about this. The verse says, one who worships the deity in the temples but does not know that the Supreme Lord, as Paramatma, is situated in every living entity's heart, must be in ignorance and is compared to one who offers oblations into ashes. This is a very, very important verse. There's reasons I go back to it again and again, because this concept is a simple one, but it can also be the most difficult. The relations of human beings can be the most complicated, right? But this verse is saying, those who go to the temples, those who go to church, those who go to these buildings or these places, but they don't know, they forget. They go into the temples and then when they leave, they forget or they don't even know that that deity that is being worshipped in the temple on the altar is situated in the heart of every living entity. And if you don't know that, if you're ignorant about that, then you might as well be making your offerings to ash, to nothing. Lord Kapila is very, very good at using this very dramatic language to make a point. Because it's an intense point. It's a hard pill to swallow. If I go to the temple, I'm doing all of this worship. You know, Guruji says, like, could be dressed, we can look very holy, we can appear very spiritual on the outside. We go to the temple, we appear very devoted. But when we leave, we don't realize that that deity is all around us, and especially even in the hearts of the living beings. And so again, it's a simple concept. It's simple, right? Be a good human being. We all know how to do that. It's in us. It's part of us. It's one of the glorious things, how God has created us. Right? Be like those trees. It is the duty of every living being to use their life, wealth, intelligence, and words in the service of others and for the ultimate welfare of all beings. That's the verse. Use everything that you have to be in the service of others. Because if we're not doing that, and we're overcomplicating, we're so missing the point. And it's so obvious that this alone, whether or not you call yourself a Hindu, a Christian, or whatever, a spiritual person, if you're missing this point, you're missing the point. These are the people that make Guruji the most happy. These are the people that make Guruji emotional with love. To see human beings like this robot right? In this movie, goes out of its way to help these animals, to help this baby goose, even though they don't like. And Guruji was crying watching this. So, it's a simple concept, but it takes practice and remembrance, you know. It was even funny for me when I was thinking about this, because all of a sudden I remembered again somehow. I was like, oh, this whole experience. And then I was thinking, when else have I seen Guruji like emotional like that? It's always in these situations when human beings or robots acting like human beings are being sweet, are helping others selflessly. So, for all of us, and especially me, I struggle with this. It's a hard one, right? When somebody is upsetting you, it's very easy to forget. Even when they're not upsetting you, it's very easy to forget. But just trying to remind myself and all of us, right, is the duty of every living being to use their life, wealth, intelligence, and words in the service of others, in the service of others, and for the ultimate welfare of all beings. Let's try and remember this. Jai Gurudev.
Hiranyakashi Narasimho, Pairaito Narasimho. Yato yato yamitaito Narasimho.
Yato yato yamitaito Narasimho.
Bahe Narasimho, Hridaye Narasimho. Narasimham Adhim Sharanam Prapade.
Narasimham Sharanam Prapade.
Narasimham Adhim Sharanam Prapade.
Narasimham Sharanam Prapade.
Tava Kaira Kamalavare. Shringam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Bringam Keshavadrita Nairahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Jagadisha Hare.
Tava Kara Kamala Hare Naka Madhuta Shringam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare
Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare
Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare
Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare
Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare
Jaya Nasimhare 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 Jaya Nasimhare
Narsimhade 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 Jaya Narsimhade
Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Bhakta Svarupa Jaya Prahlad Maharaj
Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Bhakta Svarupa Jaya Prahlad Maharaj
Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev
Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev
Sri Vishwananda Gurudev 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 Sri Vishwananda Gurudev
Vishwananda Gurudev 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 Shri Vishwananda Gurudev
Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me Yati Raja Ramanuja Yatindraya Karunakaraya Mangala Mangalame
Yatindraya Karunakaraya Mangala Mangalame
Dharmikarataya Mangala Mangalame Prapati
Dharmikarataya Mangala Mangalame
Ramayanu Jai Mangala Mangalame Yatiraja Ramayanu Jai Mangala Mangalame
Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangalame Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangalame
Saligramma Pratishtitaya Mangala Mangalame
Saligrama Pratishtithaya Mangala Mangalame
Tridhanda Dharini Godhagajaya Mangala Mangalame
Tridhandarini Godagrachaya Mangala Mangalame
Ramayanu Jai Mangala Mangalame Yatiraja Ramayanu Jai Mangala Mangalame
Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangalame Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangalame
Range Sakinkarya Rathaya Mangala Mangalame
Rangesha Karathaya Mangala Mangalame
Mananathaya Dharinidharaya Mangala Mangalame
Mananathaya Dharinidharaya Mangala Mangalame
Ramayanu Jai Mangala Mangalame Yatiraja Ramayanu Jai Mangala Mangalame
Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangalame Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangalame
Om Jai Jagadisha Hare Swami Jagadisha Hare Bhakta Janon ke Sankata Dasa Janon ke Sankata Sharana mein dur kare Om Jai Jagadisha Hare Jodhya ve phala pave Dukha vinase manaka Swami Dukha vinase manaka Sukha sampatti garave
Sukha Sampatti Garave
Kashta mitte tanaka Om Jai Jagadisha Hare Mata Pita tum mere Sharan gaho mein kisaki
Swami Sharanaga Home Kisaki Tuma Bina Horana Duja Tuma Bina Horana Duja
Sakaru mein jisaki Om Jai Jagadisha Hare Tuma Purana Paramatma Tuma Antarayami
Swami Tuma Antarayami
Para Brahma Parameshwara Para Brahma Parameshwara Tuma Sabake Swami Om Jai Jagadisha Hare Tuma Karuna Ke Sagara Tuma Palana Karta Swami Tuma Palana Karta Mere Sevaka Tuma Swami Mere Sevaka Tuma Swami Kripa Karo Bharata Om Jai Jagadisha Hare Tuma ho eka agochara Sabke Pranapati Swami
Sabake Pranapati
Krisavidhi Milom Dayamaya Krisavidhi Milom Pripamaya Tumako Me Kumati Om Jai Jagadisha दुख हरता, तुम्हारा रक्षक मेरे स्वामी, तुम्हारा रक्षक मेरे।
करुणा
हाथ बढ़ाओ, करुणा हाथ बढ़ाओ, शरण पड़ा तेरे। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। विषय विकार मिटाओ, पाप हरो देवा, स्वामी पाप हरो देवा। श्रद्धा भक्ति बढ़ाओ, श्रद्धा प्रेम बढ़ाओ, संतन की सेवा। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। तन मन धन सब है तेरा, स्वामी सब कुछ है तेरा, स्वामी सब कुछ है तेरा। तेरा तुझको अर्पण, तेरा तुझको अर्पण, क्या लगे मेरा। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। स्वामी जय जगदीश हरे। भक्त जनों के संकट, दास जनों के संकट, चरण में दूर करे। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। माने चाकर राखो जी, गिरिधारी लाला चाकर राखो जी, गिरिधारी लाला चाकर राखो जी, गिरिधारी लाला चाकर राखो जी। मन चाकर राखो जी, गिरिधारी लाला चाकर राखो जी, गिरिधारी लाला चाकर राखो जी, गिरिधारी लाला चाकर राखो जी। चाकर राखो, चाकर राखो, चाकर राखो जी। चाकर राखो, चाकर राखो, चाकर राखो जी। माने चाकर राखो जी, गिरिधारी लाला चाकर राखो जी। श्याम माने चाकर राखो जी, गिरिधारी लाला चाकर राखो जी। गोविंद माने चाकर राखो जी, गिरिधारी लाला चाकर राखो जी, गिरिधारी लाला चाकर राखो जी, गिरिधारी लाला चाकर राखो जी। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव, त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव, त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव, त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव, त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव। गोविन्दा। असतो मा सद्गमय, तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय, मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु, लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु, लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। प्रेम से बोलो श्री लक्ष्मी नारायण भगवान की, प्रेम से बोलो श्री भूतभृतेश्वरनाथ नरसिंह भगवान की, प्रेम से बोलो श्री राधा कृष्ण कन्हैयालाल की, प्रेम से बोलो श्री मवतक्रिया बाबा जी की, प्रेम से बोलो श्री रमनुजाचार्य की, प्रेम से बोलो सद्गुरुदेव श्री स्वामी विश्वानंद महाप्रभु की। कृष्णाय गोविंदाय गोपीजनवल्लभाय हराय परमपुरुषाय परकर्म मंत्र यंत्र तंत्र औषधस्य शस्त्राणि समराय समराय मृत्यु मोक्षाय मोक्षाय। ओम नमो भगवते महासुदर्शनाय दीप्ते ज्वाला परिताय सर्वदिक्षोभ्रां पथ परस्मै परब्रह्मणे परम ज्योतिषे स्वाहा। ओम Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Sham Venkatamana Govinda. Gopika Shivasmanam Govinda. Bhaktavatsala Govinda. Govinda Govinda. Kundali Kavarade. Eknath Namdev. Pandarinath Maharaj ki Samasta Bhakta Mandali ki Alvarim Paramana Tiruvadikare Sharanam